Hiking is not for the faint of heart. It takes a lot of effort, time, and resources. I'm no avid hiker, but I have some experience with walking up mountains and being on them, and I gotta say, the view from up there is magnificent. If you're not careful, you may end up getting lost or worse. That seems to be the case for a guy we will be looking into today. So get up and dive into this disturbing rabbit hole with me of a channel called Snakebit McGee and its owner, Kenny Veach. On the 10th of February 2012, the Snakebit McGee channel was started by a 47-year-old man named Kenny Veach. The profile picture of the channel is that of a snake, probably a rattlesnake, and the channel sits at 5 videos and 68.4k subs at the time of this video. He has no channel description, so we have no idea what his goal was with the channel, if he had any. His first ever video was posted to the channel on September 2nd, 2014, titled "Handsome Cowboy Sells Himself with His Home," which was posted round about 2 years and 7 months after he created the channel. In the video's description, we see it says that he is living in Las Vegas. In the video, he discusses how he wants to sell the house and how he would like for people to make contact with him regarding the house. He wants to sell his house along with himself, with him being the caretaker of the house at the end of the day. In this video, he tells us that he is an avid hiker, and throughout the video, he shows us the house, the car, as well as some knickknacks he found on his hiking trails throughout the years. In the video, he says something that struck me as odd, considering what we will find out later on into this rabbit hole. He says he's never been injured on hikes. That's impressive, I gotta say, but we will circle back around to this point eventually. On the 18th of October 2014, Kenny uploaded a video titled M Cave Hike, which sits at 3.5 million views and 59k comments. His most viewed video by a long shot, that's for sure, and for good reason. In this video, he discusses how he found a cave on a previous hike resembling the size of the letter M, and how he wants to find it again and to show us, the viewers, what he is talking about. He ends up not finding said cave, unfortunately, but people did encourage him to go back to find it, and some people even saying he was lying about everything, and he was adamant to prove to the critics that he was telling the truth. Now, the next video after this one is completely different to the MK video, but was posted on the same day, 18th of October 2014. This video is titled Shark Tank Submission, and in this video, he tells us about and shows us some inventions he made that he wants to sell to people who are interested. From his description, it seems like Shark Tank is some sort of Las Vegas invention company, or it's a worldwide known company. I have no idea. All that thought, I did some research, and from what I could gather, Shark Tank is a TV show that airs on a channel called ABC, where aspiring entrepreneurs show off their inventions in the hopes of finding deals and sponsors. They plan to make their inventions a worldwide thing to basically turn it into a business. The contestants present their inventions to a panel of 5 investors called sharks to see if one of them will invest in the invention of said contestant. The show premiered on August 9th, 2009 and is still actively running today. This was clearly the show Kenny was referring to in the video, He was actively trying to catch their attention, but it doesn't seem to have worked. Regarding the upload day of these two videos, M-Cave and Shark Tank. 1. He made the two videos on 2 separate days and just uploaded them on the same day. Or 2. He made the hike one, got home afterwards and made the second video talking about his inventions and then uploading that one. We don't have any clarification on this, unfortunately. Also, the video after the Shark Tank one is called Glacier Bear, and it was uploaded on the same day as the previous 2 videos, and same with the last video titled Quirky and Shark Tank Submission. New improved TP holder. So 4 of his videos were posted on the same day, although 2 of them is just of him editing out each of his inventions to have their own separate video. Now, before we go any further, I want to point out some alarming things he has said throughout his first 2 videos. Handsome Cowboy and M-Cave. He said he always went hiking alone, left his car far behind, and has nothing with him other than a few food items, water and a camera. He also said he doesn't hike or use trails, and he's not scared of caves or hiking at all. One good thing he always did though was tell someone where he was going. Other than that, he was living out the hike life very dangerously. He even said in a video that he tries to stretch out the lifespan or usage of his water he takes with him as much as he can, which means he runs on very little water on these hikes. That is very dangerous, and I do not recommend anybody doing that. Please bring enough water and drink as much as you need or want to. Don't try and stretch it out. There's consequences to doing that. Always be well prepared on hikes. He says he's been hiking since his 20s, so he of all people should know this. Someone commented on his MK video saying, "No, do not go back there. If you find that cave entrance, don't go in. If you do, you won't get out." Clearly this person was just trying to look out for Kenny, to warn him of the dangers of caving. But why would the person say not to go into that specific cave? How does that person know that cave is dangerous? What if the cave was very small and open? It's almost like this person who commented knows more than they let on, as if they know the cave and the area and what's inside. In his first cave video, he mentioned that when he was there the first time, he felt something was off about the cave and the area, and he was, for the very first time, scared of the cave and scared to go in. The closer he got to the cave, the more he felt like he was vibrating. His whole body was vibrating. What a weird thing to say, huh? Weird thing to feel around the cave of all places. On November 10th, 2014, Kenny went on another hiking trip to find this supposed M cave on a 3-day hike. But this time, out his camera. He left it at home. On November 14th, 4 days after he left for the hike, 1 day over his hike time of 3 days, his girlfriend called the police to file a missing persons case, where that case is still sitting as unresolved to this day, nearly 10 years later. The police found his cell phone near the mineshaft we see in his MK video, and his car where he left it to hike up to the cave area. With him going missing, a bunch of new information was disclosed by his girlfriend. She said this in the comment section of the MK video. "I am the girlfriend that Kenny spoke of in the video. There are so many posts. I had no idea until a friend let me know. So many people are wondering what happened and guessing different things. You are heartfelt about the sadness around what has happened with Kenny. He has not been found and I feel that he probably will not be found for many, many months, if ever. I want to share what I know and feel about what happened, so that you might bring some closure and understanding in your own lives. Kenny absolutely loved hiking in the desert. It was his very, very favorite thing to do. We hiked and camped together all over the Nevada desert, sometimes 9 hours a day. We found many abandoned mining towns, usually referred to as ghost towns by Nevada hikers. We explored many caves and mine shafts. We were always careful how we explored them, but Kenny was a bit more daring than I was. We wore snake guards, sun-protected clothing, used walking sticks, brought enough water and food for the hiking hours, and had extra water or food in the car. He rarely drank all his water. We took wonderful pictures of all sorts of things we saw: rusted cars, old falling down buildings, cemeteries, mines, wild animals, tarantulas, scorpions, trees, cacti and flowers. Our deserts are beautiful if you have a love for deserts. They are not spooky, scary, but you do have to be careful of the terrain and of course bring enough water and food. We always were excited when we saw desert wildlife, like the bighorn sheep in the video. They are stunningly beautiful to see in person in our desert. We would stand quietly still to watch them as long as possible. I was so very excited to see the one he filmed in his video. I want you to know that I do not think Kenny had an accident. I believe he ended things. He battled depression for many years and would not take medication or see a doctor. He quit his job a little more than a year before he disappeared. He wanted to see if he could sell his inventions and do what he called cowboy interior design for homes. He bought his first home 5 years ago and had an amazing ability of decorating in this style. He was not successful in getting a business going and was running out of money after a year of not working. He no longer wanted to work in a job for someone else, and as his money decreased, he became more and more depressed. He really did not look for another job. In early October, with seeing his depression increase, I said to him, "You aren't going to pull a Robin Williams on me, are you?" This is when he opened up more about his depression and his thoughts on ending things. His father ended things when Kenny was in his early 20s. When I asked him the question, he answered me with, "If I decide to do it, you will be okay because you are good at the law of allowing." He asked me what I would think of him if he did it. He also said if he decided to do it, no one will ever find me. It would be easy to do something like this in our desert with the number of natural caves and mines. He could hike many miles in a day, so there is no telling where or how far he could have hiked during his 3-day, 2-night solo hike. When he did not call me after the 3rd day of being gone, I called missing persons. The search for him was started within a couple of days of my call. Over 50 search and rescue team members searched 3 different times on foot. 1 helicopter flyover was done, and there was no trace of Kenny or any of his camping things. They found his car in the area I told them it would be. They did find his cell phone by the mine shaft in the video. The mine shaft was only about a 4-hour hike from his car. It is my feeling he left it behind so that he could not be tracked from the GPS in it. He also did not take his video camera with him on the solo hike. It was left in his home. So, he had no intention of filming anything. I share this with you for 2 reasons. First, so that you have more of an understanding who Kenny was and to bring some peace and understanding to the situation. Secondly, if any of you decide to go out into our desert to look for him or the M cave. Be careful and bring enough water and food. Walking sticks are a good idea, and not doing a solo hike. Bring a GPS and make sure that you have let family or friends know that you are heading out for the hike and where and when you will be returning. A search really can't be on a one-day hike. You would be repeating much of the same hike, just getting up the mountain and then be left with not many hours in the day to do the search. You would need 2 or 3 days at a time, and in the summer or even late spring. This cannot be done because of the heat of our desert. You would not be able to carry enough water. So please be careful. I had many wonderful experiences with Kenny and will always remember them and have a place of love in my heart for him and the wonderful things we did together. I am healing from my loss and look forward to new experiences with desert hiking, camping, and taking beautiful pictures of our desert. Enjoy your adventures of life and thank you for the kind, loving comments sent my way. Much love, Sherion. That's very sad. Losing someone you love and not knowing where their body might be. Such a tragic thing to go through, and I hope Sherion is doing good after all this time, and as she found happiness after everything that happened. Many people went out to the supposed area where this cave is and where this mineshaft is, and they couldn't find any traces of him. The search was long, it was extensive, but this cave was never found, although someone did go to the area of this hike Kenny did, and found some interesting things. To briefly summarize it, a channel called Agua Chigger made about 8 or 9 videos regarding the cave area, and he didn't find a matching cave to what Kenny was talking about, but he did find dead pine trees in some areas, and this can just be due to an insect infestation of mountain pine beetles, as someone pointed out in the comments. Although the guy making the video said it might be some sort of low frequency sound waves that kill the trees, and it would make sense then why Kenny would feel his whole body vibrate around the cave that he was found. But yet again, why were no other trees and plants affected? This makes the whole soundwave theory less plausible in my opinion. The guy also experienced similar feelings of unease to that what Kenny felt, and he said the area was giving him chills up his spine. Interesting. There were structures resembling that of buildings, as well as items on the ground proving that there are indeed people coming to the area. He heard drones flying around nearby him, and he found a small stone-stacked house put together with concrete. Inside was mining equipment like a pickaxe and some other stuff. Now, who on earth would carry cement up the mountain? That's just weird. Although it would make sense since it's a small mining equipment storage house and there are a lot of caves in the area. He also heard jets in the area, which isn't all that strange since it's believed that there is a military base nearby the cave area, and people think it's Area 51. He also found roasting pits and cave paintings with numbers? Strange. He mentioned in one of his videos how his camera malfunctioned for the first time ever, where he would turn it off and it would turn on again by itself. He even mentioned something called Havana syndrome. Havana syndrome is a disputed medical condition reported mostly by US diplomats and military officials that are stationed in countries other than the United States. These people report short-duration acute symptoms and claim they hear a localized loud sound, followed by symptoms of insomnia, headaches, balance and cognitive problems that last for months. The cause of this is still unknown and very controversial, as these people claim it's due to ultrasound or microwave weapons. Anyways, There is a Facebook group called In Search of Kenny Veach, and the group is still active today. Someone posted photos there on the 11th of January 2023, claiming that the photos were showing a body. People thought this would be Kenny, but unfortunately the photos provided are so blurry, it's as if the photos were taken of a potato. So take the claim of it being him with a truckload of salt. He has not been found yet, and he is still considered missing. Another very curious, very interesting video made its rounds too, titled, I found the M cave of Kenny Veach. And if I'm being honest, this is the only cave I can reasonably see as being the cave. Firstly, the whole cave and its contents are weird. From the get-go, inside the cave is a bunch of wood planks and scraps, a glass bottle, scratches of letters on one of the walls either reading hatch or beach, and most striking of all, the back wall of the cave when you come in looks like it was tampered with. It looks like it was sealed off by somebody. There was even a sign inside reading, warning, restricted area, Area 51. What on earth? That is bizarre. What is that sign doing in there? Was this some sort of secret entrance to Area 51 before it was covered up? We have no idea. Of all the supposed discovered MK videos, this one seems like the best candidate due to how strange the cave is and the fact that it's covered up, the sign and the scratches on the wall. Remember I said earlier that he was never injured on any of his hikes before? Well, the first hike to this cave did injure him. He lost his toenails on this hike. The first time he was ever injured, as well as the fact that this was the first time he was ever scared of a cave. To this day, we have no idea what happened to Kenny. Some people, like his girlfriend, thinks he went on the trip to end things since he was battling with money problems and depression. Others, however, believe he was in over his head and got caught seeing something he shouldn't have and was silenced. Others believe it's aliens, and some believe he fell into a mine or a cave to his demise, or he perished due to starvation or dehydration out in the desert. To be honest, this as well as the self-deletion one seems more plausible to me. But I will admit, the whole vibrating thing he felt, as well as the guy who followed his trail that said he felt weird in the area, is very, very strange. Almost like there is a hint of truth to this whole microwave weapon / low frequency sound waves deployed by the military to deter people from the area theory. But then, why would they deter people? Are they hiding stuff in the mountains? It's very possible, since there's a military base nearby. Personally, I think there are two possibilities of what could have happened to Kenny. He either ended things, or he passed from dehydration or starvation trying to find the cave. Both are equally grim and horrible, if I'm being honest. I hope that his remains will be found one day, so that his family and friends can put this whole saga to rest. Before we leave, I want to point out something very strange I came across. On the 23rd of July 2016, a YouTube channel was created, Snakebit McGee 5380. The channel description reads, "All I wanted was to be left alone. Please stop searching for me. I am alive and happy." The channel has no videos, unfortunately, so we don't know if this is Kenny. I think that it might be just a troll, a sick individual trying to gain some satisfaction from causing more drama and confusion. In the comments of his first video, "Handsome Cowboy sells himself with his home," someone said this: "Kenny says the little green man died rolling dice. It's a coincidence that the 2 dice equals 11. One dice is 5 and the second is 6. 6 plus 5 equals 11. Same 11th month, November, that Kenny disappeared or ended things. This is what the commenter was referring to. How very odd, very strange. If that is a coincidence, it is an insane one, that's for sure.
Made it a point to drink very little water. I only drink probably less than 30 ounces of water, and it was one heck of a hike. It was hot. Whew. Beer feels like it's gonna kill me. That's never happened before. Oh, shit. Damn it. That hurts. That actually hurts me. I push myself really hard. Some people think that's stupid, but you never know when you're going to find yourself in a bad situation. You got to know what you're made of. But I pushed myself way harder than I've pushed myself in a long time. I couldn't guzzle that if I tried, it hurt. It's nice and cold. So, I didn't find the cave. I'm not real happy about that. I know it was there. big freaking mountain range. It's a big giant mountain range. I just walked around the whole mountain range. Let's see if I can. Ow, my legs hurt. Way out. I started obviously from here, and then I walked out all along that whole canyon, over that, and then down that side, and then I walked, after I went down, and then I traveled all the way, after in the canyon, all the way across the backside of that mountain, and that is one large mountain range. And then I traveled all the way down and around this, and then I came up from down there, and then I came all the way up here to my truck. So I'm gonna go check out my map and find out how far I hiked just now. See what time it is. I'll talk to you later.
As I scrolled through the comments of this video we just watched, I saw a Susan Veach 9013, and she said this: I have a copy of the original police report which proves Sherion Pilgrim lied when she said she reported him missing after 3 days. She did not report him missing until 11/17/2014 at 4:52 p.m., 8 days in. Now, does that sound like something a loving girlfriend who is concerned he would end things would do? She also knew Kenny took very little food and water on these hikes, so she knew that SAR was performing a recovery mission, not a rescue. Seems like this Susan lady might be related to Kenny, seeing how she has the same spelling of the surname. I have no idea, and I also don't know if what she says here is true. Did Sherion lie? Who knows? This Susan lady has one video on her channel, and it's this.
I guess the math must be wrong, because these two pictures of Kenny, taken reasonably close together, shows he has a different size forehead. Huh. You know what, I guess coming from a person who says that Jungkook looks like Elvis in a leisure suit, shouldn't be judging. What do you think? Let's do the math. Is that the same forehead? Is this the same guy? And you know what's funny? He does look younger in the first picture on the top than he does in the second picture. I wonder how that is when they were basically downloaded in around the same time. I guess what a difference a day makes, huh?
Honestly, I don't see a difference. I'd say the only reason she sees a difference is due to the two pics taken at different angles, making one look different than the other. She thinks it's not the same man. Both of those pictures are of the same man. It's Kenny. One was just taken when he was well rested and calm. The other, where he took a massive hike out in the desert with very little water and food. In her comments, she mentioned an enchanted forest break-in. I went to go Google, and all I could find was a spiritual shop that was robbed on the 15th of July 2018. Is that Kenny? Oh my word. That actually does look like him. The Susan lady said his family recognized him immediately. The store owner is Debbie Veach, which is indeed his sister. I don't know if this was Kenny, but I see the resemblance, like the hairline for an example. I don't know if this break-in was indeed performed by Kenny, and by the looks of it, the perpetrator has not been found yet. So all we have now is speculation. There's no real good information on all of this. All we have is the footage and people speculating that it's Kenny, but this person was never found, so we can never know if it was Kenny. We can't put this case to rest just yet. People are starting to speculate that maybe Kenny faked his whole disappearance, faked his whole ending things story, so that he could dodge the responsibilities of being an adult and getting away from his money problems and life problems. And if I'm being honest, I can see him doing something like that, possibly. I can see something like that happening, because when a man gets desperate, he will go to any lengths to do what he can, do what he wants, to get away from his problems. I've read through the comments of Sherion's videos and Susan's videos, and people even say that they've heard of his neighbors seeing him, that there are reports of people seeing him in some areas, and people saying that he's still alive. So at the end of the day, we don't know if he is alive or if he is not alive. We don't know. All we can do right now is just speculate, because that's all we have. We don't have any evidence, any proof that he is one or the other. We don't know. But it is strange, and it is very intriguing and striking that so many people end up coming forward and saying, hey, I saw Kenny here. Hey, I saw Kenny there. Kenny was here. Kenny was there, you know. It all is very intriguing. And I don't know if these people are just trying to stir the pot. I don't know if these people are just trying to make the situation more quote-unquote entertaining, you know. I don't know that. I don't know if what they are saying is to be 100% believed. I would say take everything these people say with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, the police haven't brought any new information forward, which means they don't have any leads, they don't have any information, and we as the civilians can only speculate, but we should not make those speculations to be 100% fact. From all the videos that I've seen of Kenny Veach, all 5 of his videos, he seemed like such a nice guy. The comment section of his videos were flooded with people saying how they love his personality, they think he's a good guy, and they hope that he will be found. I hope that he's okay. And all of these messages are coming from complete strangers. Just so you know. I gotta say, the TP holder invention that he made looked very interesting. I wish he could have made it onto the show, the Shark Tank show, to get sponsors for that. Because I think that would have been an amazing thing to be added to homes. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. If you liked what you saw, tap the like button, share with people you think might be interested in this video, comment down below your thoughts and opinions, and subscribe to soothe that fascination.